Welcome back to Behind the Print podcast, where we feature industry leaders and uncover the creative minds and their businesses within the world of professional printing. Our mission is to provide you with inspiring, actionable resources that elevate your business projects and accelerate your journey to excellence in profit and in print. Today's episode is Canvas Culture and Canyon Road, Santa Fe, Deborah Fritz, Unframed. Joining me here today is the creative force behind not one, but two Santa Fe art galleries, Deborah Fritz. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Connor.
If you're ready, let's just dive right in. Sound good?
Sounds great.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do.
I run two art galleries on Canyon Road in Santa Fe, and Canyon Road's a very historic district in Santa Fe. It comprises about a mile long, and there's about 100 art galleries, restaurants, shops. It's really super sweet. It's
Wow.
really old. Our buildings are from the 1800s. So think about like Billy the Kid running around, grabbing a drink at the local bar here. And it's just turned into an artist community and art galleries all along the road. They called them the Nuts and Mud Huts. They were the Cinco Pintores that came to town and this area, settled in this area and had homes. And I think that's how the art galleries kind of sprung up. And I've had two, Giacobbe-Fritz Fine Art and GF Contemporary. And Giacobbe-Fritz Fine Art, I started in 2000. And so it's just celebrated 25 years.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's been really awesome. And then GF Contemporary, we started 18 years ago and just plugging along. I pinch myself every day. It's a really, really fun gig.
So, how did you get into the business of fine art?
Well, I have a degree in art, in studio
Wow.
art. Yeah, and my dad was like, "Yeah, I spent a lot on that education. You better get a job." And so I got a job in an art gallery, and it was the booming 90s. I was just writing up these dot-commers would come in, and you're like, "I'll take this," and you're writing up these $200,000 sales, and it was just a really exciting time. And my sister, the Jacobe part of Giacobbe-Fritz, she was working at Microsoft in Seattle. And her and her husband actually ended up moving to Italy. He was Italian, or he is Italian. And so we thought a really good marriage of our skills, because she had the business background and I had the art background. We would marry our skills. And they moved off to Italy and she started a family. And I kind of learned the business through the School of Hard Knocks. But it's been really fun. I employ 8 people and we have no artist turnover. I enjoy it. Can't wish for a better life.
What was the first art gallery you started working at?
Oh, it was called the Downey Gallery. They're not a business anymore. It was a boot camp for myself, but it was a really great place to learn. I was young. I was like 26 and learned so much and met a lot of artists too. I found out I'm a better administrator of the arts than like a creative force in the arts. And so I create the galleries. Yeah.
Hmm. Was this place, was this also on Canyon Road in Santa Fe?
It was, yeah. It was back in the 90s. Yeah. I think I started there in 95.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, been in the business for a while.
A while, yeah.
So, when it comes to your art galleries, is there any specific art form that you tend to focus on?
Well, I'm lucky. There's two different galleries. One is more traditional and representational, and the other one's more contemporary and abstract, like less representational.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I mean, sort of both worlds. One's in an old adobe house with the vigas, and it's really sweet. And the other one's got concrete floors and super high ceilings. So it's a little more like showy, and we can highlight more, I would say, more minimalist hanging that we do. And then at the other gallery, Giacobbe-Fritz is more like a salon style gallery. Yeah. But it's nice to be in both worlds. And then I even tried for a hot minute to do more of a super contemporary, installation based, more conceptual gallery that was in the rail yards here in Santa Fe. And COVID shut that thing down. And doing 3 galleries is just a little too hard for one person. So two is hard, but I make it work.
Yeah, I can imagine. So I guess you could say one is more of a like an American Southwest theme type gallery, and the other is more modern, more contemporary.
Yeah, I would say that.
So what can you tell me about your typical clients?
Well, we're really lucky because Canyon Road is such a mecca for people to come looking for work for their home, for their office, for their third home. And it's really fun. We had a really fun story that happened when they were filming Oppenheimer here in Los
Oh, wow.
Alamos, just north of here. And Robert Downey Jr. came in and he bought a bunch of art, which was
I bet
like,
bet that was a surprise when he walked in.
my gosh, it was the funnest day of our lives. It really was. He's such an amazing man. And I think he got some really great art from us, and I hope he's treasuring it. Yeah.
What kind of art styles is he into?
I think based on we've now like looked at some interviews of his, but yeah, kind of the gamut. You think a lot of the celebrities they want to buy this blue chip art, but auctions, you know, the fish in the formaldehyde tank kind of thing.
Hmm.
But he wanted to really support living artists that are working and making a living at their career. And it was just really touching the whole process. And I really love that one artist supporting another artist. That happens a lot, actually. I think a lot of galleries, if you walk in there and you say, "Oh, I'm an artist," the gallerists go, "Oh, well, okay, goodbye." And we have a lot of artists that buy art. We even have an artist who, when she sells one of her paintings, she just buys art with that money. And when I see her coming, I get excited because she just had a sale. So she's going to give it back to the art community, which is really nice because it can be a little slow at times. It's a feast or famine business. It really is. We're lucky in Santa Fe. We don't have a huge like down season where you would think like Scottsdale, it gets so hot in the summertime. A lot of people leave. We are busy basically, I would say March till January. So we all take our vacations in February.
Oh, it's great to hear that you guys have that really close-knit community and you guys support each other.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to your clients, what are some problems that you typically help solve for these individuals?
Hopefully it's not too many like problems, maybe like blank walls, which aren't that bad of problems to have. If those are your pains, they are champagnes. But we're seeing a lot of commissions lately where people are
Oh,
having
good.
like yeah, specific needs, like size needs. We actually just did a really big installation on a curved wall. We have an artist who does these like stick installations. It's a series of sticks. His name is Pascal Pierre, and they have this really great fluidity and undulation. I don't have an example of the work, but maybe you could pull some off our website. It was perfect for a curved wall because if you think about it, it's just a series of sticks on this curved surface and it was perfect. I wish I took a picture of it. I didn't. But yeah, a lot of commissions. That it's been a weird year. The Travel and Leisure voted Santa Fe the best city to travel to in 2025.
Wow.
We kicked Charleston off the top seed and top of the list. And so that was really exciting. And I think that's going to bring a lot of tourism towards the latter part of the year. But right now it's been really slow. I don't know if they said tourism is down. I think just travel is down right now, but I'm hoping in the fall, which is a really busy time for us anyway. So it's great. Santa Fe is beautiful that time of year. We're the high desert, a lot of aspen trees, a lot of changing of colors. Yeah. Because you're in Montana, right?
Yeah, I'm in Great Falls, Montana now, but about 5 years before that, I was out working in Colorado in Steamboat Springs. So I can definitely understand the high desert, especially during fall. The foliage and everything,
Yeah.
it is breathtaking.
Cool. Yeah. So we get that here in Santa Fe and it's really nice.
So you kind of already partially answered this, but my next question is, out of all of the clients you've worked with, who would you say is the most interesting? And well, Robert Downey Jr., that sets
Iron
a
Man
pretty hard
himself. Yeah.
hard standard to beat.
Oh, I know. That was really great. No, we've had some celebrities and we've had some non-celebrities. We have clients that have furnished their whole homes with our art,
Oh
and
wow.
that's really fun. Yeah. It's always been a dream of mine. The way I hang the gallery, so Giacobbe-Fritz, we pair all the art together. So you have an artist section, but at GF Contemporary, we do a whole section of different artists all together. So it's always been my dream that somebody would come in and say, I'll take this corner or I'll take this room. But that hasn't happened yet. But you go to people's homes and I experienced that where they have a lot of art from us they develop these relationships with our artists. My social calendar gets pretty full when I'm going out to dinner with a lot of clients and artists, and that's so fun. Like if that's the best part of the job is to see the art where it lives.
Yeah, see
And
the
artists too,
in the
they like
world.
to do
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah, in the homes and yeah.
So you mentioned that Canyon Road has what, like 100 art galleries?
Yeah.
So that's quite a few art galleries just contained within, you said, just a 1 mile strip. Out of all the art galleries, how does Giacobbe-Fritz Fine Art and GF Contemporary stand out from the others?
We do curate a little differently, and people do walk in a lot of times to both galleries and say, wow, this is like so refreshing. It's different. And so I don't know how that like offsets me from the others. I mean, we don't represent the same artists. Like one, we have a contract with our artists where they can just be represented by us in this community here. But they have other galleries in Los Angeles and New York, and a lot of them have like Tulsa and Scottsdale and that sort of thing too. And we always stand out. I think every day you make a sale, you really, whether you're actually have money in the kitty today, you have people coming in and you find out if they're looking for art, or you may not make a sale today, but you develop this relationship with them. You get their email, you get them on the artist list. So when new work comes in, because the artists are constantly producing and they may not see something they want today, but in the future, we really want them to be able to have access to getting what they want. And 25 years in business, I've developed quite a nice mailing list of people from across the world that collect from us, which is really nice. So when a new piece comes in, like we have somebody from Belgium who just said, "Oh, I'll take that one." And we're like, "Okay, going to Belgium." And I love that. Yeah.
So it's a much
Did I
more,
answer that question?
I was going to say, it sounds like a much more personal approach.
It is, these are all personality driven businesses, 100%. The owners are are in their shops, and that's why this Canyon Road is open 10 to 5 every day. And because have to get to dinner and pick your kids up and that sort of thing. But it's a really neat community. It's very close knit. I know all of my neighbors and they've been around for a long time. And when a new person comes in, I think they're welcomed. Right now, I think I've been in the business for a long time, so I've seen a lot of my contemporaries from when I started, they're like retiring now. So we're seeing that they're retiring and there's not a lot of, I think, entrepreneurial spirit in the like younger people that would come in and take the risk to start an art gallery because it is risky. It really is. And you have a high overhead, and it's a feast or famine business, and there's a lot to it. But every day I turn that key, and that's what keeps it going, I think, I
So you mentioned the people just starting out, the new entrepreneurs, the younger folks. What advice
uh-huh.
would you give to someone who's trying to get into this business for the first time?
Well, I'm so excited. Anytime somebody says they're going to start an art gallery, I get really excited. And I hope that they've done a lot of research in our community to offer something that's new and exciting. We have some really great new galleries that are run by young people. There's like two, but they offer things that maybe are missing in this community. Like one of them is $500 and below. And so you're coming into town and everything's 5,000 or 50,000 or 500,000. You can start your collection pretty easily there. Giacobbe-Fritz has a pretty wide range of art from different price points. We have things for $85, and you can get collecting because I think the younger generation does have like a no stuff culture, but they want handmade things, like precious things. They don't want mass produced things. They really want like authenticity. And I think Canyon Road 100% offers that. We don't have a Jamba Juice or a Starbucks. It's very mom and pop the whole way up. And that's part of our covenant with the city is it's called zoned arts and crafts, where it's all handmade goods. There's not any, I mean, but that presents challenges for us too, because there's not like a Walgreens or something where people can get sunscreen or whatever. There's nothing like that on the road. And it's very historic. There's the sidewalks are raw. The buildings are very unique, little adobe buildings. The architecture is very brown, but they used to be orchards. So there's a acequia that runs kind of behind Canyon Road that used to feed the orchard. So there's a lot of old orchard trees. We have a pear tree and an apple tree in front of the gallery that look like they're out of, a horror movie. But we keep them alive because they're hundreds of years old. And it's just, I don't want to, hurt, but they look pretty bad, but it's pretty cool.
Did they still
Yeah.
produce fruit?
They do. It's not very good. It's a little mealy, but they do. They really do. I have to hire a guy to come and knock all the fruit down because it falls and it turns into like soupy, smelly. Ugh. You can't just let it keep falling. You have to have it like all at once because
Hmm.
it can be messy.
So, can you tell me about any major milestones or projects that have defined you or your art galleries?
Well, 25 years. I think that was pretty amazing to celebrate 25 years in business.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, yeah. And I still represent artists that I had right at the beginning. Yeah, that was pretty wonderful. So, yeah, I mean, location is a big thing, and I think I've been really, really lucky in where the galleries are placed. When I started and took on rent that was like crazy high and was like, what am I doing? And you'd go to bed every night thinking, oh, what if I never have another sale? What if I can't make this work? And you just keep putting your nose to the grindstone. And I think showing up is like probably the biggest reason of my success is I don't take a lot of days off. I do travel a lot, but I would rather be at work than anywhere else. And I think that's having the doors open is a big, big thing. You see a lot of people that don't keep the doors open. They take Wednesdays or like Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays off. And I'm thinking, gosh, that's a big portion of your income that you're like giving away because you're not open. But yeah, that's probably like milestones. Okay, big milestones. Starting GF Contemporary was a huge one. It was 2008, and all the banks were failing, and everything was going wrong in the world. And I was able to assume another gallery that existed, and she wanted out. And I think that was kind of a turning point in me too, as a professional as well, because now all of a sudden you've got twice as much income, you've got twice as much work, you've got twice as many employees. So I had to learn a lot from that because the other one I could just manage all by myself. And then when I did a third gallery, that was pretty huge as well. And I got a lot of recognition on that. We did some museum shows, which was really fun. That's kind of rare for a little art gallery to be able to be part of museums. And yeah,
Well, that's
milestone.
quite the list of achievements. But yeah, going back to what you were saying, like when you said you would just rather be working, it is so important to just enjoy what you do. Because, this is cliche, but you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
My dad used to say that to me all the time.
So you did touch on this a little bit before, but what major challenges or obstacles are holding you or your businesses back right now?
Well, it's funny because there's all these things about scaling your business and I work on your business, not in your business. And I think what sets us apart from like being a big corporation is all of our things are handmade. I know exactly where they're made. I go to the artist studios and I see them scraping canvas or sawing wood, and they're, real people with something inside them that they need to get out, and bringing that to people that maybe you wouldn't be able to be exposed to that in a world where everything is so mass produced.
Mm.
And we don't offer, well, one artist does offer prints, but we have like more fine art prints like etchings, aquatints, that sort of thing. Mono prints where it's like a kind of one off and the artist is there with their hand and everything. That's been a challenge about scaling the business. I don't know how that would even look. I don't even know if my artists could like keep up. Because like during COVID, we had such good years. I told at the beginning of COVID, I was like, artists, you guys stay in your studios. Your life's not going to change too much. You're usually, isolated, sometimes with a mask. So like your lives aren't going to change. So keep producing, keep producing. We'll sell it. And it was just awesome. People wanted something for their home. They wanted to support small business. They wanted art. They wanted something precious. Artwork is very precious. It has value. It'll live beyond us and it represents us once we're gone. And because yeah, it was just such a great time for us, the COVID years. And now it's slowed down. Maybe it's gotten back to like normal. That was nice to have. I didn't realize my businesses could do so much business during those times. And that was not a challenge. It was good. It was really
No,
good.
I think the COVID was a challenge. And just going back to what you were saying about to stay in your studios, keep producing. You can't go outside during the pandemic, so that's kind of a opportunity for you. And
Right.
I think it also might be accurate to say that during COVID, people, they still wanted something precious. They wanted something handmade, but it might be another reason might be they want a connection. You can't go outside.
Yeah,
You
there
can't,
was that.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can't interact in person. So just having that art, having that connection might have been a factor.
Yeah. I think it was really like healing and helpful for a lot of people during that time. And art can do that. It just really is an amazing thing. And when people say, "Oh, I can't afford art," I'm like, "Well, yeah, you can. Go to an art fair, like an art and craft fair in your community and support an artist. Pay $100 for something or $50 for something, and it's going to change their life. And it's where the rubber meets the road for supporting a creative individual, other than, yeah, I think that's a good way to start your collection.
So how has print helped elevate your business?
Well, I actually, during COVID, it was funny you mentioned that, decided to do a coffee table book for an artist because it was the downtime. I was like, we've got the time, let's do it. I got a writer, I got the book maker, I got all of these things together. And then everybody got busy and the world ran out of paper. I mean, it was such a challenging thing. But we do these really great booklets with Printing for Less, Printing Center USA. And they can you see that?
Yeah, it
There
looks
you go.
great.
Yeah, you have this really amazing builder in your program. And so I don't have to pay a graphic designer or anything. And usually the artists help me build these books. And this is kind of a fun thing too, because we keep them together and we have like 2024, 2023. So you can really see like the breadth of an artist's work in these printed books that are really affordable. You guys are awesome with this. And
We
we can,
appreciate that.
yeah, everything about it, even like the fabric, we do that soft finish on this
Hmm.
artist. She does these little coyotes.
It looks good.
Um, yeah, she does a lot of wildlife pieces, and you can totally control everything within it. That we have just found them so helpful. I've probably done, I don't know, 40, 50 of your books. Yeah.
Again, we appreciate that. And back to what you were saying, the soft touch finish. A lot of, printing is primarily visual, but with the soft touch finish, it has a more tactile feel, gives it more
Yeah.
heft and weight. It just feels good in your hands.
Yeah, so much so we got our business cards with it because it's people love to feel it. It's like leather or something. I don't know.
So, sort of a different question here for you. If you had a day completely free to spend however you'd like, what would you choose to do?
And then I didn't get to do chores. No,
No chores, you're completely
no.
off the hook, no obligations, just completely free to spend however you'd like.
You're gonna laugh, but sometimes I take a date with myself. I'm on the board of the Museum Foundation here in Santa Fe, or it's New Mexico Museum Foundation, and I go to the museums. I really do. It is so fun, and you don't always get to go. And the shows stay up for a while. So you're like, oh yeah, I'll get to it, I'll get to it. Or you go to the opening and then it's so crowded and there's so many people that you know, and you just spend all this time talking to people. You don't actually get to enjoy the exhibits and delve deeper into them. And so I that's what I do. I tell my husband, I'm like, I'm going to go on a date with myself and go to the museums. And that's what I
No,
do.
that's great. I just do the same thing for myself. When I
Yeah.
first moved to Great Falls, the first thing I did is I went and I checked out the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center.
Well,
And
fun.
it's
I would love to go there. Yeah.
But yeah, just going to museums by yourself, that sounds like a great day.
Yeah. Oh, I would encourage anybody to do that.
So, one last question for you. How can our listeners get in touch with you, learn more, maybe purchase some art or collaborate with you on a project?
Oh, so we're really easy to find. So it's Giacobbe-Fritz.com and gfcontemporary.com. Those are our websites. And all of our socials are those too. Giacobbe is with a Giacobbe. It's the Italian spelling. But just Google Deborah Fritz and you'll come up with me. I even have a
Okay.
Wikipedia.
Yes, I saw that.
That's hilarious. Huh?
So, did you have any questions for me?
No, thank you for letting me be on this. I've never been on a podcast before.
Yeah, absolutely. We're glad to have you.
Thank
Well,
you.
I'd say that's a wrap on another episode of Behind the Print. Thank you to our listeners for joining us as we explore the artistry and innovation of the printing world. Remember, having a strong vision, building the right strategy, and using tools like print to amplify your message will make your brand stand out from the crowd. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to get your sample pack today from PrintingCenterUSA.com. Until next time, keep those creative sparks flying, and remember, there's always more to discover behind the print.